Good morning everyone, welcome to my channel. So today is going to be another video about making a pouch, but this one is going to be themed towards the Just Because quilt. Now what I've got as inspiration is the pouch that I was gifted, let me grab it, from the lovely Diane when she attended my retreat. Now, I might just bring the camera up a little bit. I feel like I'm right up on everything. This pouch has the vinyl, the zipper, everything's nice and secure. And then this side, she had a beautiful piece of slow stitch with a little press stud there to allow you to pop, you know, a pattern in or something like that. And I used it a lot when I was traveling. So I've decided to do a little bit of a series, just honouring this as my starting point, and then linking it to, I guess, activities I'm doing through the year. So then the next one that come along was this version, which was the slow stitch piece that I did while attending a course with the Roxy Creations girls, and Rachel supplied a beautiful piece of her fabric and some scraps. This is what we created, not knowing what I was going to use it for. I got home and then turned it into a double pocket pouch with a bit of this vinyl and applying slow stitch to the whole process. Put in some zips, which I sewed in, and I've got two little pouches for whatever, could be cottons, threads, that fold together like a book. I haven't put a tie on it. There's a lot of weight in it, so I sort of feel like that weight is holding it, but you could attach a tie here and, you know, tie it off. Might end up doing that because I haven't officially used it yet. So maybe once threads go in here, it'll get quite heavy. I don't know. Doesn't matter at this point. So that's the little pouch, double pocket pouch. So that's led me to this piece of beautifulness. So for Christmas, I shouted myself some fabrics from Dollhouse Vintage, Deborah. I'll put a link to her Etsy store there. She sells the most beautiful things. By the time it gets here, it does cost a little bit because the pound versus Australian dollars is just crazy, and postage. But I just don't find pieces like this. It is so inspiring. This one panel has inspired me to revisit log cabins in the future. I love the colour palette. You know, sometimes when you see something beautiful like this, it just sends you off on lots of tangents. So I've been thinking, what do I do with it? It was going to go on my Just Because quilt, but I decided that it'll be on the quilt forever gone into wherever, probably a cupboard. So I want to make a pouch out of it as well. And using Diane's inspiration here and doing like a slow stitch version of it, I decided that that would be the piece that would be under the vinyl. So I've cut my vinyl ready for that because it's perfect surface to, you know, slide patterns and things into. It won't get caught, won't snag on anything pretty. So if you were to cover a beautiful slow stitch piece like that with the vinyl, you know, you'd be struggling to get in there because of the buttons and embellishments and things. So I don't want to limit myself. So that is the piece of vinyl. It's a fraction bigger than what I need, but I can always trim it down. So that's ready to go. I shall just put this away safely. This stuff damages really easily. So I'm just going to put it down the end of the table, just so it's nice and safe. But I don't need that at the moment. This is my colour palette for a slow stitch piece. So what I'm thinking is I flip it over and I need something to stitch into. So I grab myself a piece of wadding and I need to now make something slow stitchy for this side. So we need a lining fabric. So Diane's got a lining fabric in there. And then an actual panel, which is also going to be lined eventually. So the lining fabric, I was thinking of just using the remnants left from the calico bags that I've been using in the Just Because quilt. Because a lot of these, I've used the artwork, but then there's the whole back of these gorgeous pieces. So I won't grab it now, but I've got a pile over at my desk over there of the fabrics left from, you know, splitting apart these sacks. So a flower sack base will go in there, so it'll just be a calico. I might embellish it a little bit, who knows. This is the next piece I need. Now, I was sitting here thinking, oh, it's not the right size. Do I add a bit extra? But what I decided to do is I'm going to just go with that as my size. Let me just do a cut down here. And I do need to add a zipper element as well. I haven't thought that far yet. That's very crooked. The zipper element is attached to the vinyl, so I don't need to rush into that. Let me just bring that back again. So the vinyl gets cut down a little bit more because at the moment it covers my whole piece. And when I'm ready, I'll piece 2 pieces of fabric, insert zipper and attach it to the vinyl. Then it lays on top of that surface. So that's a job for another day. We won't bore you with that. There's so many videos out there of how to make these zipper pouches. So if you did want a little bit more tuition, gosh, it's crooked. Oh boy, doesn't matter. By the time you stitch into it, it becomes all wonky anyway. If this was a beautiful Tilda pouch, it'd be precise. But welcome to the slow stitch world. It doesn't need to be precise. It just makes it adorable. Yeah, what I'm thinking is because this is smaller, I might bring this over as my binding, this side, to catch it. Let's just have a little play. Because what we can do is the vinyl can be a completely different element that is hand stitched to the front. So that means I can do a bit of a slow stitched piece, knowing that this is coming over, and being it's a log cabin on the other side, I've got these nice straight edges, so I guess my binding is done like so. I think that'll work. Why not? Okay, so I can collage away on this piece of wadding. We'll line the whole inside with the bag leftovers from the flower bags. It'd be a lovely way to use all of those scraps, and some of them are really big pieces. I'm just pinning this, pretending we're now joining it, so to speak. Okay. So there'll be a press stud there to allow me to slide something in. This is the other side. So when I get my vinyl, I will cut my vinyl down, insert a fabric piece, 2 of them with the zip, and then join the 3 things, the fabric, the zipper, you know. I will make it fairly small because I don't want to cover too much of the patches. So the fabric holding the zip might actually be quite narrow so that I don't sacrifice, you know, too much landscape. That'll be just a tiny little, what's the name for it? What are we going to call it? It's not a gusset, but so if I make the zipper element itty bitty, I could add, see, I did consider shortening the bag, but then you lose that 4th one, number 3 and 4 block. So I think what we'll do is we just have to cover it. We'll make the fabric at the top quite narrow. Maybe, let's get my little ruler. Maybe an inch and a half finish. So maybe we make it 2 inches, top and bottom. have it finish. Might even make one side narrower than the other. That'd make it a little bit more interesting instead of it being so same. Yeah, I might do that. So I'll find some fabric that complements. Anchor the zip in. So the bit I'm talking about, if I've left you behind in my thinking, is this bit here. Okay. That will be attached to the vinyl, and then I'll put a binding around the whole thing and then slip stitch the vinyl onto this when we're done. So that's something I'll do off camera. You don't need to see that. So this side, having a pocket that is all slow stitched in acknowledgement of the Just Because quilt is my theory. So I'm going to now undo that. So we know we've got this potential binding coming over from the front. So we can comfortably collage some goodies on this. So put that away. That's my colour palette. So I'm just going to keep it to one side because I don't want to go off the... It's so pretty. So we've got pinks, blue and red with a touch of a fawny tone. So that's its direction. And I thought we might have a rummage through. I grabbed a handful of the Just Because fabrics that have been in the baskets going towards that quilt. Had a little bit of that left. I thought maybe a turkey could... I'm a turkey. I thought maybe the turkey could find a home because that's like just a random piece. But it is green. See how quickly I go off the... Look. Stay within the colour palette. Put it right there. And the moment I change, I want you guys to say, no, you've gone off on a tangent. All right. These are the little packs of fabrics that I put together for the retreat, some of which are from Deborah that are still strung together in little bundles. This one is French fabrics that I put together for myself to stitch. Really, that I'm not going to use them. That's whenever I do a French fabric pattern project. Oh, look at that part. No, put them away. Put them away, put them away, put them away. Nope. Okay, Deborah. Right, there's plenty here. We do not need to be going off. The only thing I can't see a lot of is blue. Well, there's another one. Let's have a little play, hey? Stop yapping. Oh, the other thing I thought of, is there a flower sack that could be involved? But boy, they're big. They're big prints. Because we have flower sacks. This one's come from my friend, young Susanna. Size is good. Let's use the confectionery one. These are all massive. Like I love them, but they're really big. There's another one. Blue. Oh, we need little ones, don't we? They're all ginormous, so they're for, like, that'd be beautiful blue. All right, maybe this is the blue element. And then I don't need to chase blue fabric. Who knows? So let's have a look through here. And I think I can eliminate most of this because the colour palette. So I love that, but it's not the right colour. So pretty, a maybe. So that's the plan. I'm going to make, that's French. Go back to the French fabrics. Is that French? No. I try very hard to keep my fabrics a little bit separated, especially if I've got pieces from certain places, because it sort of feels like I've gone to a whole new area in my room for inspiration. And especially if it's a pack that I've got from a certain seller, because they have, you know, their colours and their inspiration, and it's lovely then to just bathe in a colour palette that is not so much me. I don't think there's anything here. It's got green. It's a beautiful piece of fabric. Oh, for goodness sakes. I do not need any more fabric. Enough is enough. I need to make some fabric needle books. Isn't that beautiful? Fabric needle books, or fabric books like Rachel showed us in a recent video, because it'd be a lovely way to showcase these random pieces. And you can sort of break the rules. Look at you. Oh my goodness, that's a fabric. Oh, look at that. It's just the colour palette. It's beautiful. That's a project in itself. Turquoise, orange, pinks. Enough. Gosh, guys. Stay focused. That's why I give myself boundaries, because it's too much. It just gets out of hand. You're pretty, you can stay. I need some pinks. It's going to go very red. Oh, look at you. Isn't it cool when you get other people's choices? That's beautiful. Now these are good just to get some stripes. Break it up a little bit. Look at that. Oh my goodness. That would work, wouldn't it? We do have green, but what a great feature piece. I think we need that, guys. It works. Yeah. There's our feature piece. What else have we got here? Some more neutrals. Get rid of the tie. So I like neutrals around the place. There are blue. Oh, some of these are attached. No. Leave it attached. It's so pretty. They've got a little bit of blue. There's a caramel colour. See, there's a little bit of caramel in the piece, but probably not that caramel. I might need to go hunting for a little bit more blue, but we'll see how we go. That's a nice little pinky. That works really well. That there. That doesn't. That's too bold. Look at you. Gosh, 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 gosh. The thing is, you know, you don't need the whole piece that this come from. We just need little bits. So, and supporting some of these sellers is really cool, because they're little businesses that have come from our industry, and it's just lovely to throw a few shekels their way. That's a pretty piece. I think that's got something, and that. And then this. You know what? I could make a pocket out of this. Would that be silly? A pocket on the pocket? This might be too big. I don't have a lot of real estate. Oh, here's some more to look through. Hang on, hold your horses. Got to have a look at all the options. No, I don't think any of those are really what we need. They're a little bit Christmassy too. About in here. No. That's got potential. No, it's not. See, if you didn't have the inspiration sitting beside you, you could just go off on a tangent so easily. So all of those little bits so-so, but not quite. I wonder, this is a drawstring bag, or once was it? Yes, okay. Would that be silly to have a little drawstring bag on the front of my pouch? I don't think so. Food for thought. Let's just start getting some backgrounds down. So we're going to have it come in a little with the binding from the other side. You know, I don't mind that idea, because then I could put threads in that in the front. So it'd need to be anchored to a point where that could be, let's just test out the theory, hey? We tuck it there, for example. We stitch it down to that point. And then that is free to draw in. Will that work? I'm just testing some engineering here. Not really. So we would need to make it a little more relaxed, not so taut. So the bottom could be anchored within the turned up edge coming. This comes back a bit, so we make it a bit pouchy. We could do that. So a little calico drawstring bag. Could do some decorative stitching on that just to help it join the party. And then just do a running stitch right around the edge. I don't need to break it apart, I don't think. Let's not, you know, make this harder than it needs to. So now the little pouch has plenty of give in it, so that if, for example, let's really test it out, guys. It's the only way we're going to know if this is a silly idea is we've got some pins and we've got a cotton. Let's just keep it to English paper piecing, so just a cotton. We drawstring that closed, but the little pouch sits on there. We could probably come a little higher with the stitching so that it didn't flop, or we bring it up higher. Yeah, I think that'll work, guys. Why wouldn't it work? And it sits on your bench when you're sewing. You can get in there and grab your goodies out. That's done. I'm going to do that. Unless something pops up that I haven't considered engineering-wise, that is a definite. Little pouch on front of the pouch. Okay. So we might remove you for a moment. So we're not using this blue one, because otherwise I won't have any room for fabrics, will I? And I think I will keep it down low. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to put it on the right side down the bottom here. And then I can collage fabrics to suit. How's that sound? Good? Excellent. I'm glad you all approve. Let's just get some fabrics down. Oh, my feature piece. Where'd that get to? Here. Let's get you in next. Got a little edge here. I could unpick that just to get a bit extra fabric, which I think I will in this case, because there's a bit of the design. Might as well have that disappear, you know, around the binding when it comes across. I think I just tore the fabric. Oh, goodness me. You forget they're, you know, they're older vintage fabrics, so you've got to be a little careful. Be all stitched in. So I will be back in the next video with this completed. I think you got the general gist of where I'm heading, and this is sort of a little bit of a pouch series inspired by a gift I got, inspired by Kate from the Nest, who's doing a pouch series as well. As I said, I've got some purse handles here. Where are they? This is also going to pop up in the future. Those there, and using some blanket, attach the blanket like Kate does to some form of handle, and then using the Kate method of flower to flower, leaf to leaf, find some fabrics that make me think of Kate. So that'll be my colour palette. So I'm thinking bright pinks, yellows, those types of colours. And I have some wools, because Kate uses a lot of wool to embellish. So I'll be sort of putting together a bit of a colour palette for that. That's going to be April, I believe, because I'm going camping in April for about 3 weeks. And I thought that might be a lovely project that I can create the bag, put all the bits in it, and then I can just stitch while I'm sitting around the place, yibba yabbering to our mates. So that's my April bag, or my April pouch, inspired by the lovely Kate. This is inspired by the lovely Deborah and all of her fabrics, and of course using Diane's gorgeous gift as my, inspiration that all of this is bouncing off of as well. And of course I've used that is Rachel and turned it into a useful item. I do want to do a Judy or Juju inspired pouch with no closure. Rachel showed that on her video a little while back with the no zipper. So it's just an open pouch using Rachel's fabric. So that will be another month. Maybe that's May. But they might all come closer together. When you're doing these big projects like the Still Life and my Gosling quilt and the Just Because, I've got all these random days where I can do little projects, and I'm just loving it because, I can stitch some other things. That flower is beautiful. It'd be a shame not to do something with that. So I'm thinking you need to be featured. Just bear with me as I fiddle around here a little bit. I'm going to do that. And then that. But I love that too. Oh, goodness, guys. I love that. That little piece is beautiful. I don't know if I can grip it. Yes, I can. I'll bring you over a bit, make you more central. Yep, like that. Little spot. It might be good just to have peeking through from behind the pouch. It's a bit of a generic-y sort of generic background type fabric. So the little pouch will expose that spot. That'll be the edge from the turned over element. We need some more blue. Is this the right blue? It's not bad. Don't undo that. Deborah's put that together in a lovely little captured morsel. Oh, gosh. Play with these fabrics all day. Does that work in? Don't mind a stripe. Do I need more blue? But maybe I've got to go get my... Don't mind that there. I might just jump up and grab my basket. I sort of feel like I need more of those tones. It's very red. Hold that thought, guys. All right. Got my stash of bits and bobs here. Let's have a rummage. Got some off-cut bits from the quilt, or the Gosling quilt, sitting here like that. Sort of a bright lolly pink, isn't it? That's a, gosh, colour is amazing. It's only a little bit, but sometimes just little bits tie things together. What else is in here? A couple brights. Is that too bright? Looks too bright, doesn't it? Where's our blue? Yeah. So it's a navy blue. Here we go. That's dirty blue. That's not right either. For goodness sakes, there's blue and there's blue. That's got potential. Bit of texture with the little white edge. Oh, I like that. That's a favourite. Maybe I could cut one of those out. What else is in the basket, guys? Keep rummaging down. Bit of white, blue. The thing is not to overthink it, is it? You just go with it. Oh, look at that piece. Oh, gosh. Stay focused. Do not go off. Why did I grab that out? It's got green on it. Leave it where it is. Maybe some of these. All right, put it away. Oh, I like that. All right, that's it. What about that? Enough. Stop. Oh, goodness me. Suddenly you've got a whole table full of... That's a good one. You've got a whole table full of stuff. All right, where's my feature piece? Definitely happy with that. So we need... Bring it lower. Bring it down there. Anchor it. Therefore bring... Maybe we find something else. I love the bunnies. I got that in Brisbane. Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's too small at the moment. See, stuff like that could be just stitched decoratively on that. You know, like little patch with a bit of decorative stitching. Like I've mended it. Does that make sense? What about you? Love the linen. That morsel came in there. Sort of now starts to look nice and eclectic. If that was trimmed off. So this is like another feature piece. And then rough it up a bit. And it sneaks in to the side. My bunny's jumping in the distance. All right, what else have we got? This little guy got handballed away. And put you down the bottom here. So that's a joined element. What do we like? That there, that there. I feel like I need to bring that up. Like you could seriously fiddle for hours. Does that suit? It sort of does. And I like the fact that we've got some random flowers. So maybe we build a bit of a flower thing. We fussy cut these out. And then I could stitch into them. What have we got here? That and that look pretty good. We'd need to get rid of the brown, or the green. So I'm just rough cutting at the moment because we'll stitch and trim and stitch. So if we had a bit of a floral cluster, I'm doing a bit of Kate here now, flower to flower. I don't want to cover. Oh, that's right. That's loose, isn't it? So we could have that peeking through. Okay, I like that. So that'll gather up and that will be exposed. All right, that will work. Is there another flower here we could pinch out? Look at you. Let's get you out. Oh, do we take those daisies? We can always trim it back more. And the flowers that are the wrong colour, don't forget, you can always stitch over them. This piece is taking on a whole new life. And I think I'm going to ditch this piece. It's gone out because this is where we're going with it. We're going to do a swoosh of flowers. Yes, yes, yes. Across. You are. And I like, where's my inspiration? I like the blue. See that blue flower and that pink? We're there, we're there, we're there. That brings in a little bit of dark. This fabric here is a little bit left out. Maybe we put you up there. That's better. And then the edge that comes across. Yeah, okay. It's turned into a completely different piece. Oh my goodness. But that's okay. I'm okay with that. The colour palette for these flowers is absolutely spot on. So when I choose my threads and do my flower embroidery, I'll just follow that. And I like how it's sneaking up here but swishing across here. There's that diagonal again. I just feel like I need to anchor. the bottom with a bit of blue. I'm not finishing my sentences. I think that'll work. I want these little bunnies really showing, hippity hopping around there. Tried to watch the Garfield movie the other night. I don't know. Is it because I'm getting old? Cartoons just don't. Gaz loves watching them. When I said, do you want to watch the Garfield? Oh, yeah. And we got 20 minutes in, the phone rang. And then when we finally got back to putting the TV on again, I didn't pick it. I just subtly changed the channel to... I feel like I need a little bit more floral. I might bring you in. And actually bring you on top. But I want you to stay under. That's what we're going to do. We'll just curve that. Yeah, push him back to the background. That's what we're doing. I've got another little blue one. I might just link you in there. It'll be seen. And we've got a lot of pink and red, so I sort of feel like we need to assess, put a little bit of blue. Is there any more blue around? Oh, look at those. Oh, don't cut them. Just look at that. That, and that. Don't cut it. Leave it another day. Do not need it. There is enough to embroider there, and there. Just stop. Put it back in the pot. Done. Now blue. I just feel like we need a bit more blue. I don't want any more flowers. That's the wrong blue. Do we bring in some of this? No. Got enough white spots. What about some ticking? When in doubt, add ticking. It's not quite the right colour, is it? It's grey, so put it away. Got some more red. See, I had that out, didn't I? It's just not right. Nope. Got a little patch. Do I just go a piece of this? Nope. No, blue. There's nothing there. Do we bring a bit of this back in? Connects to that. I do like the lines because it sort of shadows the very lineal line. All right, I need more blue. I feel like I just feel like there's something could come across here. I'm just scanning my piles and I'm not seeing anything. Is that too blue? Just not quite right, is it? It's off of a shirt. This blue's not right. Get rid of that blue. That sort of feels a little bit better now. Maybe we put a patch of this in underneath. That's just subtly there. Just going to snip it and rip it. It's there, but it's not there. Does that make sense? Because the little pouch will sneak over it. I like that curve because everything's rounded, so I'm okay with that. and then we pop this little pouch on. And there's some work in this now, all this thread painting that I've just created for myself. But that's okay. Whenever we get it done, there's no rush. So what I want to do now is grab back that panel. Oh, remember this has got to be a little bit more puffy to allow for the gathering. Do not stitch that flat, Corrine. It'll go right on at the very end. It's sort of the last addition to it. Good thing about slow stitch is you can create anything from anything. It's really cool. And then that gathers in. So let's gather it. Pretend there's some cottons in there. It's all secured. We can see little flowers popping up around the place. So let's get some more pins in. So you know the trick next is to invisible stitch it all down so that you can get rid of all these pesky pins. And then you've got a piece that you can squish up in your hand and go anywhere with. All right, so there's the layout. I do like that, and I like that up there giving us a breath of fresh air. It's a bit funny here. There's something needed here, but that is not really a concern at the moment, I don't think. Something will come along. It might be even a little bit more blue. I like the fact that we've still got a little bit of blue popping through. Now what's going to be the telltale scenario, if we're on the right track, is this. Because we're turning over the edge. I might go the blue to the bottom. I think that'll get us a little bit more blue. So if that's coming in there, we will then pick up blue here. Yeah, that's going to work. So let's just pin it, make sure we like it. Yeah, I love that. This will give you a bit of an idea of how the piece will finish up a little bit too. So remember, this is going to have a turned edge and there'll be calico lining it all. Yep, see there's the blue I needed. Bring it from the front, which has been the inspiration, and then we're perfect for the colour palette. Oh yeah, that's good. I'll have to work something out for the corners there. Might do a little tuck and a snip and a readjust, but that's not today. And there's a lot of stitching that needs to go into this panel. So the next video potentially will be an update on this, or show you the finished and potentially start another pouch. So I just don't know. I sort of don't want to do too many videos in a row because that puts a lot of pressure on me to complete the task, and I just don't have that time, potential time. I'm going to bring that under and over. No, I'm not. I'm just going to leave it as planned. So yeah, this pouch slash purse slash storage vessel slash whatever this is just going to rumble along through the year. And inspiration will come from wherever, whatever, whomever. It's just a way of utilising my scrappy bits. Yeah, I like that. I like it. It gives you a good idea anyway of where I'm heading by me pinning this. It's going to feel nice and chunky, which is good. And of course, before all this gets sewed down, the final construction, I'll have to put a fabric through so that it comes up over that edge. But we might even finish neat at the edge, the calico that I'm talking about. And then I put some binding across that edge. That's what I'd say I'll need to do. But I think it'll work. I love that. I love it. I love it when you can build in components too. If that comes over there. And of course, if you don't like the vinyl idea, you don't have to put it on because you've got yourself a nice pouch. The only thing the vinyl allows me to do is have a zipper and have, like if I'm doing English paper piecing, I got lots of little pieces of paper. The zipper is sort of keeps everything safe. Otherwise you have bits falling out everywhere. I'll have to get myself some of those little press studs. I've never actually used them. So that'll be fun to have a play with those. There'll be something around that I've got, I'm sure. There we go. She's wonky, but I love it because my base piece was wonky. So yeah, I think we have a plan, guys. So that's a way of using some random bits of fabric to pull together something. Let's pretend that that's the calico left. That will be inserted into here as a lining. So it will come up to that edge. It'll go right down into the bottom of my bag and then come back up and be stitched onto that edge there. Does that make sense? So pretend it's a big piece. It's going to be tucked into there and come to that edge. That then becomes the inside lining and it'll just be hand stitched into position. Okay? All right, guys. Well, I might leave it at that. I think we've got a bit of a plan and one day in the future you'll see this completed, stitched, but there won't be a second video on working on it. I think there's enough videos we've made out there that shows stitching and it's, yeah, we've been at this a while, so I'm sort of to the point where instead of boring you with actual stitching, let's get construction of things, how to construct and the plumbing and the engineering of it. I guess that's what my pouch little video bag series is all about. All right, guys, I'm going to say goodbye and see you around. Bye. Hi, guys, I'm back. As I was finishing and taking a photo of the piece, I delved back into that fabric that I was not going to cut up. I was saving, and I cut this out. And see, that was a little bit unfinished there, plus I can see the underside. So I cut those out and I have added them into here. So somehow that will connect with that and it drifts down to the corner. And I sort of feel like the flowers now are anchored down here and up they go as they work their way to the top. I do cover a lot of that, but I think I'm okay with that. So I'm just going to pin it there as a need to be considered in the project. I'm going to tuck those undone. So I thought I'd come back and just let you know that I did do a slight modification to it. All right, I will leave you now. I will pack up and I'll chuff off. All right, see you later. Bye. And just when you thought I was gone, I just had to show you this. I was packing up again, you know, just consolidating it. I've taken the piece to the couch to be invisible stitched and start camphering and things like that. And I come back and I thought, you know, let's keep the project together. There's my back. There's my potential thread holders for my project. I don't like how I can hear that vinyl sound there. I still think I need to do something with a needle book or a fabric something in there, but not too thick. So that's on the cards as well. And that would then get rid of this sound I hear as vinyl comes together. It's just, I don't know, it's just got a funny sound. So that fits in there, peeks out, love it. This is in here for when I need it. I've got a lot of stitching to do, so I don't need it straight away. Put it around that way, I like the blue. And then in the front, is where I'm keeping this little guy waiting to be attached, and I can slide in my needlework and, you know, snips and things like that as well in behind. So inadvertently, my project bag has become a project bag holder. I just thought that was ironic. All right, guys, I'm going to say goodbye. See yous.